Welcome to Gill Stadium as the Little Green of Manchester Central take on the Goffstown Grizzlies in a battle of 1-0 teams. I'm Hugh DeBrule, and with me is Joe Borges, and Jared Green is behind the camera. So we set up just in time for kickoff here.
A little different setup than our normal setup, so it'll be interesting to see how the camera comes out. But we're up against a glass window.
Yeah, but we have more elevation, so that's good. So little information about Central. They won a narrow victory over Londonderry 2-1 with goals in the 6th minute by Will Scala and the 52nd minute by Sam Asantha. Apparently, according to the article I read, it seems that Central dominated the game for the first 30 minutes. Londonderry scored in the 74th minute when Derek Afoltz found the back of the net, and that score sparked a Londonderry rally that saw the Lancers put a great deal of pressure on Central. And at the end, though, the shots on goal tally was 11-5 in favor of Central. And according to the newspaper article, Central's coach seemed to be pretty pleased with the performance of his team. He thought they played some pretty good spells of soccer there, and he said he saw some championship-like effort. So we'll see what goes on here. Central playing on its home court, or its home field, on turf, which I think kind of favors their style of game, which is going to be a lot of passing, a lot of possession. Look, just
right
like
there.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, and here we go. Oh, those are not big margins that we're operating on with defense here.
Yeah, a little different starting lineup. We got Miles kind of tweaked an ankle, and Cole's in goal, and they got Renault starting in the back.
Yep.
In the place where Cole started last week, and then Josh Ewing-Simone starting at striker.
So center back, though, that is Pelletier, isn't it? 24?
Yeah.
So
Pelletier,
he's actually playing in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just on the outside, though.
Right. But you can see that Central is already bringing speed on the wings here. That's nice. Some nice play by Fantaselli, but nobody to pass to. Somebody's got to be up there for him.
Well, I think that's the different, in the game that we called last week, that's all we talked about was spacing. You see how well Central is spaced.
Well, exactly.
And it's a big field, and they're covering it well.
But the strikers are right up against the line here, right? On both sides, which gives ample space, and they're going to be crossing it all day. You can just tell that's what's going to happen.
Oh, there's a goal.
Yep.
Well, that wasn't the start you were certainly looking for.
No, but you know what? They had us on their back, or they had us on our back heel for
quite a while.
Yeah, last few minutes. And if you can't clear the ball and possess in the midfield, that's going to happen.
It's going to be a long day if you can't do that. But hopefully it's a wake-up call and you get to start. Our boys, the first time on turf in a while, although they played a few games over in Bedford this summer.
Correct.
For scrimmages, but hopefully we can get our bearings and get going.
Well, and it's hard to play. It's hard to play your second game of the season against Central, right? Look at the speed of play. Like, Joey McNeil couldn't get rid of the ball quick enough, and we're going to pay if we can't move the ball quickly.
And I think when you play a lot of teams, you'll get some athletes on those teams, but all those athletes aren't necessarily soccer players. When you play Central, you get a lot of athletes that are all actually soccer players.
Yeah,
it's a big difference in Division I when you have that. Most schools, you got kids where they'll play soccer, but it's not their year-round sport. I think for most of the boys on Central, that's not the case.
No, and you're absolutely right about making that distinction between athletes and soccer players, because you're going to get both when you play Central. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because we don't have quite as many full-time soccer players as they do.
But last year we kind of hung with them. They put us under constant pressure. We had a couple good saves and didn't let the game get too out of hand. Hopefully we can do the same here.
Yeah, but see, we're having trouble clearing again, and oh boy.
Oh,
that was good defense.
Yeah, they called that a penalty.
That
is
is
push.
You know what? I would disagree with that call. Did you see how the ball just completely stood still after that tackle?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, Cole Brotherton in the net, gives up a goal, not his fault at all, and now he's facing a penalty kick, and it's like, I don't know how many minutes have gone by. It's like 5 minutes. Yeah, not even 5 minutes. It's like 4 minutes have gone by, and here's a penalty kick.
Just hope you get lucky here.
Yeah. Hope is
nobody,
hope is not a plan, though.
nobody from Lebanon's kicking it,
Oh
unfortunately.
gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
you
try.
didn't have a prayer on that one. That was a well taken penalty kick there by Central. I really would like to see Goffstown not panic
Right.
and not get demoralized and just start to adapt and play the game that they need to play. And I think the key to this is speed of play. They've got to be thinking faster and passing faster. There just isn't enough time to kind of, hold on to the ball and do this and that with it. They've got to pass quickly. They got to see the field.
I mean, regardless, it's a good time to play against a really skilled team, and I don't think we'd be the same level of them at the end of the year. But I think there's lots of things that they do well, that you watch. You look at how they spread the field. You look at how they set up attacks.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's a good learning experience no matter what. But hopefully we can keep it under a touchdown.
I was kind of walking into this game hoping that we would do better than we did last year, which was 5-0.
I'll tell you, that game last year was actually a pretty good game. We were under constant pressure on D. They ended up making a couple mistakes and giving up some goals, but it was actually, I thought they played tough. They packed it in. They clearly packed it in, and
I couldn't agree more with you in your assessment of the game because as I remember, the goals that we gave up in the first half were really due to miscommunication.
Right.
And the interesting thing was Central didn't really find a whole lot of penetration. We just made mistakes and kind of gave goals away to them. And then in the second half, then they started to penetrate. I think the defense was getting tired running around and having to do a lot of work.
Yeah, they were under a lot of pressure and eventually you kind of give in. But also Central was really patient last year too. They worked the ball in.
No, that's true.
Especially when they got the lead, they kind of took the foot off the gas a little bit and just possessed the ball. So we were chasing, and we were chasing a lot. But they, like they're doing right here. I mean, they're basically now they're going to get their switch, right? And then they'll possess the ball. And all the time that we don't have the ball, we're not very dangerous.
Well, and all the time we don't have the ball, we're running around trying to win it back. Okay, that pass has got to be better. When we start getting possession, we have to pass the ball to the players. We can't throw it away like that because now they're going to possess, for another couple minutes.
Yeah, and that's the difference between this week and last week. Last week, the last game, Portsmouth would give the ball away every once in a while. We'd give the ball away, so it was a pretty fairly even match.
Right.
Here, you see one team's kind of possessing the ball,
Yeah,
they have a bad touch, and then we have a bad touch right after.
We got to make the most of our possessions, though. That's the issue. But you're absolutely right about that last game. We were chasing. Actually, to be honest, we chased a lot last year, and I think that shows the value of possession because when you possess the ball, you're not chasing and you're not exhausting yourself. You're letting the ball do the work.
I hope when the boys look at the tape, they just look at how this team is spaced and using the whole field.
Yeah. Yep.
We were a broken record on the
on the spacing.
Yeah, last week, but it was so obvious.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Sometimes when you play a better team like this, though, your spacing stays better because you at least keep an eye on the person
because they're spaced.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. That's the case right now. Although we're starting to kind of gravitate toward the left side of the field. But you see how wide their striker, their winger. Yeah, but then look at the one behind him, number 2. He's
offering support right behind.
Right, exactly. So they're wide. They are very wide, and this is something you see with Bedford too. If you remember Bedford, that terrible game in the rain last year. They were extremely wide, right? It's like each midfielder, each winger was like standing on the sideline practically. So, really a game where Central has dominated dominated possession. Oh, my gosh.
Get it out of there.
Yep.
It's like Central's bringing in a sub.
Yep. Looks like a right back maybe. Or no, maybe the right center back.
I don't know how they can be tired.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're kind of figuring you got a 2-goal lead 4 minutes into the game. Maybe it's like it's time to
so you don't think it's a stamina sub?
I highly doubt it.
At
8 minutes, yeah.
It's more of a pity sub is what you're saying. Opportunity, young opportunity.
Oh, boy.
They were calling him off.
Oh, that's fortunate.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you play indoor soccer, right, and you're losing, they allow you to have one extra player. Like if you're losing like 5-0. I hope it doesn't get to that.
That's how most of the Bedford scrimmages this summer were like. We were always the other team was on the power play. I'm not sure we had a full squad many games.
Oh God, that's hard.
It's
I
hard.
remember that. Yeah, I remember
on a big field like that with one less player to begin with, and
I remember hearing about that, and it's like, so you guys didn't have enough players. See, the trap's got to be better because they're not. Every time we mess up a trap, they're going to be on us. You know,
and they're
this
not
game is going
over
too
aggressive.
fast.
They don't underrun you. You know, they
No,
don't overrun.
no.
They're right in front of the ball, and they take it. And Cole's decided he'd just hold that thing just a little longer.
Because when he's holding it, they don't have it.
Exactly. Well, I think they're going to settle in a little bit. And you see us settling in better than what it started.
Right. No, you can tell that they're making adaptations, and it's very clear up here. I mean, this is a good view. I wish we were a little bit closer, but with this kind of elevation, you can see the field a lot better, and you can see the positioning.
Right. Yeah, so I think it'll be good when they review the tape.
Yeah.
When the team takes a look at it. I don't know if they looked at the tape from last week yet. I know it was on GTV pretty quickly, about a day after the taping.
Well, I guess they don't have anybody taping their games.
I don't see anyone. I think
anybody.
they just saw what a great job he did and figured why be redundant.
Right, exactly. That must be it.
Or maybe they couldn't find a manager for the team. I don't know.
That's true. I have not seen a manager for the team. Right? That's a good point. Well, I'm glad we got the win on Tuesday, and that'll keep people's spirits up. I don't know how well they expected to do against Central, but this might be a salutary lesson in the sense that, look, you did beat Portsmouth. That was a good game, but we still have a bit to learn.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think most people would have expected this to be a pretty tough game and a pretty big upset if we were to pull it out. But you never know. That's why you play it. Londonderry played them to, even though it sounds like Central may have controlled most of the game, it got to the end when there was still a chance. So
well, apparently Londonderry had a big rally at the end of the game and really kind of tried to take it to Central, just couldn't quite get away with it. But also got to say that Londonderry has a player or two that they did not have last year who are really good academy level. So that's a nice play by Casey Foyt, though.
That's nice when you get those. That's kind of like when we added Ethan Skinner.
Oh yeah,
in 2016.
It's a gift.
He hadn't played the other years, and then you get a little gift.
Yeah. So it looks like I think that's Jasper Klaus who's waiting to go in.
Yeah, he's warming up. You saw him warming up on the side.
So probably some sort of a midfield substitution.
I would think so. Yeah.
So Renaud Pelletier not taking any chances with that ball and sending it out and giving the team a time to reset.
And I think Coach Lever might be taking it a little bit easy with some of his players that have been a little bit injured too. You see Miles sitting on the bench who kind of twisted his ankle. Isaac's had an ankle issue. Trevor has been battling some issues, and I wonder if they just don't want to take chances on the turf in a game that is going to be a pretty big challenge too.
Well, I think that's one thing that's a difference between this year's game against Central and last year's.
Yeah, we had them at home.
We had them at home, but we also had them on grass. And I think, a team like this that does a lot of passing, where the tolerances are not very high, they do much better on turf than they do on grass.
Yeah, and I think last year our grass field was already a little chewed up by that point because it wasn't, even though it was early in the season, it took a beating last year, and this year is actually in pretty good shape. Yeah. But there's no doubt that this, a home game for Central means a lot more than a home game for some other teams. And,
yes.
And we saw how we matched up with Bedford on the turf out there. It wasn't that pretty either.
No, but I'll
nice
give
us
our dues against Bedford, and I don't think Bedford was exerting itself super hard. They were really making the ball do the work on that game, and I don't think we pushed them too hard, but. We ended up losing only 4-1 under, if you remember, just absolutely miserable conditions.
Oh, it was terrible.
So it looks like DeBrule's coming off and Klaus is coming back on.
Must have been a good week for Jackson, though, after the game-winning goal. That makes the first week of school a little more tolerable.
Going to school was a lot of fun. Learned a lot of people. I think Frank McBride was talking to him and
just miss those connections. And that's what's so important when you're playing this team is if you don't control it in the midfield right there, all of a sudden you're under attack again.
Exactly, and that means that the defense is going to have to carry a huge load today. They're going to be under pressure all day long. And you know what? I don't care how fit you are. You're going to get tired.
Right.
You're going to make mistakes. There we go.
Hey, now go.
Go.
But you see the difference too. They have a lot of speed. You know,
Yeah,
they're
they
strong,
come. Well, they
got
come back,
speed.
right? Oof, that could afford to be a little lower. Although that's not a bad.
It's not a bad ball. I think
Yeah.
I'll stay on
But if
sides.
yeah,
Stay
if
on
Gorton.
sides.
Oh,
Go get it.
there we go. Well, look, that's our first shot. It might even count as a shot on goal.
We can call it whatever we want.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's a shot on goal. But see, look, they're on the attack again.
It's a lot of fun to watch them play, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Well, can I just tell you the state final between Bedford and Central last year was just absolutely fantastic. It was really, really good to watch. End to end, really well played, very high pace, frenetic almost, but a lot of control. It was very impressive. But I have to say, you read a little bit about how, the touch has got to be
big
better.
touch.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, though.
You read about how Central's got some young kids that are filling in for players who have left and so on. They look really good. They look good to me. Second game of the season, and they look great.
They looked good last year when they came in.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I mean, I think they thought they left some goals out there.
Mm-hmm. So here's a little. Yeah, you got to get rid of it. See, they're going to be on you. We
you don't have
got to
the time.
learn that lesson,
Yep.
We cannot hold on to the ball super long. We don't have a large number of talented dribblers, and
looks like
you just
we'll
got to get rid of it.
Have some subs come in.
Yep.
Freshman Nick and Isaac.
I
like
think that's
Isaac.
Nick Emerita, I think.
Yes.
I looked that up. Nick Emerita. I'm not sure about the pronunciation. But then again, everybody butchers my last name,
Yeah,
too.
we're just going to call him Freshman Nick anyway.
Uh,
I talked to
you
his
can face
parents
the
and
wrath
his
of his
father.
parents.
Yeah, I already
Okay.
talked to him. They said it was okay.
Oh, Freshman Nick?
Yeah.
Is that going to be his nickname?
That's a good nickname.
Freshman Nick? I don't
Won't
know.
be
Not,
next
not
year.
when you're a senior.
Right. Yeah, it won't be next year.
Okay, what's it going to be? Sophomore Nick? I guess by that point, what do we
One
care,
Nick,
right?
Yeah, Nick Martin will be gone. you know,
Yeah,
so there's
that's
fewer
true. Just
Nicks.
be Nick. Yeah.
So then you can just be Nick.
What a blessing to have a name that everybody can pronounce easily. I often remind myself that.
Like Green.
Yeah, Green. That's
Yeah.
like, duh.
Nobody gets that wrong.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I don't like the looks of this. You could see that coming.
Caleb did a nice job working back, though.
No, he did. He did. But
Mhm.
you can see that they're going to be working the seams, right?
Yeah.
They're either going to bring it all the way down and cross it, as they were doing at the beginning, or they're just going to look for the seams and try to
Yeah.
push it through that way. And they got the speed and the skill to do that.
And it looks like they've got Borges in at the midfield. He came in for Joey. So the same D that started.
Well,
There we go.
I think, our ambition, we should score a goal. We should try and score a goal. See what that. Start with something small.
I think they look a little better now anyway. I think they were probably a little deer in the headlights when they came
Yeah.
out. They're like, wow, these guys pass the ball well. They don't turn it over.
They looked really good. But things do seem to be calming down a little bit. Or just, that ball kind of,
Yeah, I think he caught a little turf
I
on
think,
that one.
yeah, either that or he caught a little wind because that ball just sort of rose and died. That's not a bad ball there by Foytho. Oops.
There's no one there. That's okay.
The turf is kind of unforgiving for bad passes and traps because the ball really bounces and rolls. Oh, nice.
That's not a bad opportunity right there.
Well, Borges that was a nice
lefty
pass.
cross.
Yeah. Got to get on top of that ball instead of under it.
They got a head on it. When it's
Yeah.
in front of the net, you don't know. But I think that was probably our first real scoring opportunity.
Well, it was a dangerous one for sure.
That's one where the other coach is probably saying a few things. He wasn't real happy with how they dealt with him. That's what you want. You want to cause some kids to get in trouble somewhere, right?
Well, that and maybe get in their heads a little bit. What are we talking about? I mean, look at this. I don't think we've gotten in their heads yet.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. That's more competitive now. Let's keep the game competitive.
Yeah.
And
No,
I mean, it's too bad that you were down 2-0 in pretty
yeah,
short
but
order.
if you keep the game, keep the game tight. Don't let it get away from you.
Right.
Like forget that it's 2-0 and hit the reset button in your head and just keep playing.
And you got to play them. I mean, we were talking last year. You know, there was Alvern, which really struggled last year.
Yeah.
And now they've had 2 wins against some good teams. You know, Pinkerton and North, both
Yes.
playoff teams last year. And Alvern, you know, they might have won 1 or 2 games last year, and that was it. And now
I don't think Alvern won any games last year, did they?
Spalding, I thought, was the one that I don't know.
Spalding was worse.
Yeah.
But I think like their goal differential was horrendous. I think like by the time we played them in the 5th game of the season, their goal differential was like -35 or something.
We had one of their goalies fill in on a Bedford scrimmage, and he was a good player. He played really well. He'll be fun to watch. I don't know if he'll be the varsity goalie or not, but he was a good player and a lot of fun.
I think it's fantastic when a program like that can kind of resurrect itself. Look at this. There are a lot of errant passes for Central, but see, our passes have got to be better than that if we want to crack it.
And honestly, there you probably could have carried it a little bit. He was through the defense.
Yep.
You know, make someone come up and play you, and then all of a sudden there's a little more room to make that pass.
Yep.
But it's easy for us to say. We're standing up here not playing against one of the best teams in the state.
Well, this is true. But I will say, like, when we were 18, things were different. When we were 18, we could go for – actually, when I was in high school, the games were 90 minutes long. And you know what? We never got subbed out.
I think I was working at DeLay's Town and Country Store during soccer season trying
really?
to make a few bucks. Yeah, I think when I started, I was making $2.75 an hour, so it was good money.
Okay, yeah. I remember when I think my first minimum wage job, I was making $3.35.
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been too
Pack of cigarettes cost more than my hourly wage.
Although, and how would you know that?
Because I worked the register. You sold a pack of cigarettes, right?
Okay.
You're not insinuating that I would smoke cigarettes.
I'm not insinuating anything. I guess, you know what? I'm going to guess that California minimum wage was higher than New Hampshire's at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
In those days. It was by a princely, 60 cents.
Right. Well, it turns out I was only, like 13, so you didn't even have to pay a minimum wage. So
that's right.
Minimum wage was $3.25 at the time, but.
Oh, it was. Okay.
That was back in the Wayback Machine.
In the Wayback Machine. I remember those days. All right, so now the ball confined a little bit more frequently into the midfield, but certainly Central looking comfortable.
Not as comfortable though. You've seen a few,
a
early
few
they were
errors,
really crisp.
right.
They were trapping the ball a little crisper.
Oh.
I think they thought he was off. I thought he was off too, but I have a little bit of a corner of the window in front of me, so I couldn't quite see. But
yep.
I mean, if I played defense, I would just put my hand up in the air when the person ran by me anyway, just seeing if he could steal one.
I hate it when people to call the offsides. And then, of course, you run slower when your hand is up like that, and then they run off and score, right?
I'm so slow, I'm never going to catch up, so you might as well go for the...
I thought the whole idea was like as they're running past you, you got to foul them. That's what we used to do.
Then you get the penalty kick, right?
Well, that's true, but you got to do it outside of the box. That's why. You got to be up there. So, who just came on there? That's Mason. I'm sorry, Andy Mason.
Yeah, Andy Mason just came on.
Yeah, he's in the midfield now.
Yeah, given.
Nice step.
That's what you like about Andy. He's, even though he's not big, he's not afraid to play.
The ref caught. Yeah, that was holding
there.
Little
push, yeah.
You can see like Andy's arm was kind of not where it should be because somebody was holding him. So let's see if Fantaselli can kind of put this where it needs to go.
Probably wants people to look up, actually.
Yeah, right. Nobody's looking at him.
Yeah. It's
credible.
Oh. It actually got a little rebound there.
Yep. Yeah. Here's the danger of the counterattack. That's nice. Yeah, very nicely done by Borges. Yeah.
Yep. And then the kid was trying to climb him.
Climb Borges?
Yeah.
That's a task. Oh, that's a good play there. You saw that coming. And here we go. He's going to... I thought he was going to get to that.
Yeah, so it settled down a little.
It has. So looks like... is that Bartolucci? 13? On the sideline?
Yes.
Is he coming in?
Yeah, I think so.
We're having trouble clearing the ball again. Look how many people you have in the. Oh, that is a beautiful run.
That was a nice run.
And that was a hard play to execute, but they almost got it.
They did.
I felt like there were like 6 guys right in the middle right there.
Yeah. I think sometimes we get, especially on kicks and things coming in, we kind of get caught watching. The one goal from the Portsmouth game, when you looked at it, that was off the free kick. We had, when the ball came in, we all tried to push up to keep everyone on side. But then once it was kicked, everybody ran around us and the players stood there. So we had one person covering 4, and we end up giving up a goal. So I think sometimes they want to push up, but once that ball is played,
yeah, I think you're
you
absolutely
got to get
right.
somewhere. Now, Hugh, how come some people have the jerseys that they carry to the side, the pennies, and some people don't? It's just a team thing.
That's a team thing, yeah. Yeah, and I guess it's Central's thing.
You see a couple teams do it.
Yeah.
I think Bedford does it.
Mm-hmm.
All the better teams do it, so maybe that's our issue. Do you think
I think you might be confusing correlation with cause or cause with effect, or
I think I'm just going to buy some pennies. I think that solves the problem.
And then you guys, have the
all of a
team
sudden
pass
you're
them
top
out.
4 team in the state.
Oh, we're at that easy. Oh, that's nice work in tight spaces there. Yeah, look. Yeah, you saw that coming. Here we go.
And they're skilled, right?
Yeah, oh, so sure. Well, that's, athletes who are soccer players, right?
Good job by Renault.
Yeah. I think it was Andy Mason who was holding him up there.
He held him up, but then once he got around him, it was a little bit of a big touch. And
nicely done by Foytho. I really like the way Foytho and Fantaselli have been playing so far this season.
I thought they looked good back there.
Yeah.
They had a good game, and I know we talked about it a lot in the game, but I thought they really played well.
Well, they're kind of big presences, but they're smart. They play the ball well. I mean, they've got their work cut out for them today. Oh,
looks like they have Bartolucci playing up top, playing attacking mid.
He might be left attacking mid.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think that's all right.
Yep.
Whew, not by much.
Yep. Oh, I think that was kind of unnecessary.
That was unnecessary. That's not cool.
Is he
He's
reaching
gonna get
for
a
his
card.
pocket?
Yep.
No, he's just giving him a warning, I think.
Ooh.
I thought
he was reaching
into the
in his pocket.
But then I realized the pocket's actually up on his chest. I thought he was reaching into his shorts pocket. Foytho, I think, I'm not sure if he's having a few words with the player or the referee or what, but well, that would really be bad because I hope Cole's okay because
I think Isaac's the next in line. He'd be excited. He's been
really?
pushing. Yeah, when Miles was at a baseball tournament, Isaac got to play goalie. He's
really excited
push
about
hard
that.
for it.
Oh no!
Oh, we're getting a card.
Coach Levering apparently must have said something. Uh-oh.
Yep, he's getting
the business.
Yep. I mean, he did have a point. I thought, you definitely, you're taught to kind of lay up at the end there, and I thought Cole was in pretty good position to have that ball.
Oh, I
think he's trying to protect his players, but
no, I completely agree with you. Oh boy. It's early in the season yet for this. Yeah, I think that was completely unnecessary. I don't think there's any question about whether there was a foul or not. The question is.
My guess is it's early in the year, so they didn't card him. But yeah. I think you can get carded for that.
I think you can.
In a lot of games, you'll be carded for that.
Yes. Oh, see this. Nicely managed by Foytho. Whoops. Oh, well. All's well that ends. Whoops. I was going to say all's well that ends well, but it didn't end quite yet.
That's all right.
It's funny. I think each of the subs in turn has to learn. Oh, look at this. Nice.
I think that when the more subs came in the last time, you saw the spacing get a little bit more compressed, and then people were subbing in different groupings after, and you didn't see a lot of the spacing.
Yeah, that was not a good choice for a pass right there because nobody was open. But Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. But what I was going to say is that each of the subs seems to have to learn in turn that there's not a lot of time on this field, and that
No.
the speed of play has to be
It's
a
lot
lot
different.
faster.
Yep. It's a fast field, and you got.
Oh, that was not a
ooh,
bad play there by Colby Bartolucci.
And the goalie almost had a little bobble there.
Yeah.
And Josh was where he needed to be. You know,
Yeah.
he spent the effort to crash it. Sometimes you'll get people up there that.
I think one of
You know,
these
they don't.
days, I hope if there's, a reasonable soccer god out there, that Josh Ewing-Simone's hustle up there gets paid off somehow.
His freshman year when he was on JV,
Mm.
he had some nice goals. He worked really hard and he
No,
got
he's
some, but
working a lot.
They're a little harder to come by on varsity for sure.
Well, I know you've got to scratch and hustle a bit more, but he's working really hard, and I
that's
know
a
he
better
doesn't have
ball.
it's
I think
too far to the
he
left.
muffed it the last
Well,
time.
but if he kind of put it more to the right, I
Actually,
think
it
it would have
didn't
been a
go
good
out.
ball. Yeah, kind of a. Oh, there we go.
You
We
got
got
a
the
throw
throw
right
in.
there.
Well, I just hope Ewing-Simone gets something for his efforts, because I know he's been working really hard, and he probably hasn't seen a whole lot, but he's still working. So DeBrule's coming in, and Martin is coming in, and Morgan.
Yep.
So Mason and
Andy.
Amarita, and I don't know. I thought they brought three people
came
on.
on,
I hope
but
we don't have 12 people on there like when.
I think we do. Randy's covering.
Yep.
Randy's
Yep.
counting now. Yep. I
You
saw
remember
three. I saw three go on, and
Yep. So Ewing-Simone's coming off. There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, remember when we scored that goal last year? We had 12 people on.
Yeah,
and
we
we
did.
kept our mouths shut.
Yeah. You don't say a word.
And then Randy, after the goal was scored, he just quietly ushered the player off the field.
That was Salem too.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was Kyle Pinard, I think was.
Yep. Oh,
I don't
it was
think Kyle
definitely
Pinard. Kyle Pinard was not the extra man, but he was the guy closest, I think. To
No, I think he was
Lovering.
the
he was
extra
the extra man.
man. Yeah.
Okay.
And then after the goal, someone went in and kind of pulled him off, and
I
that
thought
was a
Lovering
crazy
pulled him off
game.
because he was closest, and you can get him off the field without too much trouble. But that's the kind of thing that the Jets do, right? In
Right,
the NFL,
yeah.
they got the 12 guys on the field. That kind of.
Well, let's be honest. Last year, that late in the season, we were the Jets.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think you're.
But we're not this year. We
No,
just
I hope we're not. I hope we're not the Jets.
No, I don't think we're.
What do we aspire to be? We aspire to be somebody who goes 8-8, right?
Like, even maybe a little bit better. The Houston Texans, someone like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Might win a division every once
we
in
gotta,
a while.
Yeah,
That's
we gotta.
all right. He's got it.
I know, but I don't like how open he was, right? We got to track back and watch that kind of thing. Wide. Or that.
Yeah,
that's
that's a
good.
great
That's a good
pass.
play. That is a very good play.
Tiago, he's much more. You can see some people are a little frantic right now,
Mhm.
but he's not. He kind of.
I part of me wishes that Fantaselli was involved on the offense, but I think he's been very good on defense.
I think you kind of need him back there.
Well-
Until Trevor comes back 100%.
Yeah.
Know.
Oh, that's a great look.
Hey, good job.
And that's a good
Kept
play
his
by
body
Foytho.
there.
Wow. But there's a situation where Foytho really used his size and his body really well. Turn the ball.
Yeah, between Tiago and Foytho back there, we have some good size, but the ones on the outside can be a little lighter.
Well, but and Foytho and Fantaselli have a decent turn of speed, right?
Yep.
I don't think they're going to get, they're not slow. So what's that all about? Oh,
Free
so
kick. Yeah.
DeBrule is having a conversation with the referee. Yeah. I don't know what happened with that. Actually, if I could be permitted to make an observation, I think Jackson actually knows that ref. No, not in a bad way or anything. I'm just saying, yeah, he knows that ref because that ref is his probation officer. No, no. What I mean is, I think he knows him from previous games, but also I think he knows the ref's son from soccer.
Yeah, and he used to work some games too, didn't
Yeah.
Jackson?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Klaus needs to watch his hands a little bit. He extends them. They let you get away with some contact, but you start extending those hands, and they don't.
Oh, you didn't want to give that one up.
No, and
this
it's
is
the next one
dangerous.
after
Yep.
it, right?
That
one.
They look so nice when they do
Yeah,
that.
they do.
And you're right. Fantaselli never looks like he's panicked. He looks
No.
very calm, and he's got good foot skills. He's got a good presence of mind. I do like him back there. I really do. And he does have a size, decent turn of speed. That's a nice little play there. Okay, so we put an end to that, hit the reset button. And I do like Foytho back there. And you're right, the other guys are a little bit lighter, but they might be a little bit faster too when you think about Pelletier.
And they're a little different players. Like Joe's fast and he's kind of aggressive.
It looks like they're going to fish for a penalty kick a little bit. Let's see what happens. The referee's walking in slowly. That's why
they started playing. We were helping the player up, and they're bringing it in.
That's going to be a corner.
Guess you're allowed to do that, huh?
Yeah, but we gotta anticipate these runs because they're very dangerous. And if you're a step behind, these guys are athletic enough to outpace you and good enough to score.
This will be interesting. So the first corner of the game.
Yeah, isn't that something?
It's a great ball.
Fantaselli, whoops, chested it out a little too far.
Yeah, I think at that point though, I mean, it'd be nice if you could. It'd be nice if you could trap it really well, but when you're in the box, you got to just get that thing out of there.
Well, yeah. Well, either trap it well or boot it, right? Especially on this kind
of short.
Game. Yep, a nice alert play
Colby.
there.
Yeah, came
Bartolucci.
Right
yeah, nice. Oh, and there. Nice. That's not a bad trap there. Borges got nobody. Yeah.
That's a nice
nice look.
He actually had some really nice passes
last week. That is great.
Get it over.
Now let's see if Amarita's kind of working himself into a
corner
hole here, or into a corner.
Yeah,
and I don't mean a corner kick, but
right. He's a little bit younger. He's just got to work on getting his head up a little bit, looking at the field.
Well, it makes you think a little bit about like Ronnie Morgan last year.
Right.
He had to kind of learn a couple of things about the pace of the game.
Yeah. When you're a freshman, you're playing against senior-laden teams.
Oh, that was a late kick and hit the central. I mean, that is a foul.
That is a foul, yeah.
I don't think the referee saw it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's a nice.
Nice.
I thought they were going to connect on that one. Yeah, I think Casey did get him.
Yeah, that is number 10. I believe that is I'm going to put that out there because I know he watches the videos. That's Rahul Drukpa, and he is a real scoring threat. He actually scored Central's goal, the lone goal in the state championship last year. He's a very, very good player. He's, definitely academy talent.
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder how there's a big difference between Central and Memorial.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
Yeah, and why is that? Geographically, you got a certain amount of things. I'm sure it's how you build your program and and what you got going on, but it really is. But for soccer, it seems to be a big gap, and you don't quite see as big a gap in the other sports. Maybe football.
Yeah, but you're right. I think it's a cultural thing. It's like you have a good program, it attracts students who want to play there, and so on and so forth. But you do kind of wonder why you don't see more strong players at
yeah, so that was a nice pass by Borges. It'd be nice if he went a little harder. I think that's what Ronnie was looking for. Mm-hmm. So it was a nice pass, but he went, but just not quite as not to the speed of Ronnie's pass. Oh, 5 minutes left.
Yeah, if we can just get out of the half without any more damage, I think that would be helpful. Whoops, and not giving the ball away.
Well, I think in our midfielders are really packing back a little bit because we were under so much pressure. I mean, Nick Martin.
And the gap between Borges and everybody else is huge, right? And, he's all by himself. De Bruyne with a nice step, but we're not going to end up controlling the ball there. Actually, De Bruyne knows a number of these players here from club and from Inti and futsal and the whole shebang. Prison, yeah. They tore down the prison in Goffstown, right? The women's prison, and it has removed from my arsenal this joke that I always tell the kids every time I drive by. That is that I met mommy there. Can't say that anymore.
Yeah, can't have that fun anymore. I'm sure your wife is really upset about that. She probably thought it was really funny.
Look, if she hated my sense of humor, you think we'd be married for this span of time?
I figured she had to have a pretty good sense of humor to be married to you. That's how I would look at that.
It's been 24 years. Feels a lot longer, but...
For her, yeah. It is nice to have soccer season start back up. You know, you can check out what games are going on. After the win, we went down to Putnam's after, so we could talk about, you know, how the team did and all the things that we know about. You know, it was like date night again with my wife. It was nice.
Oh, that's good. See, it's nice to see that you have something in common and that it's soccer. But it does worry me that when,
oh boy,
nice by Lambert.
That was a nice job by Lambert.
Yeah.
That was dangerous.
But the thing is, once soccer's over, right, and your last kid passes through soccer, you'll have nothing to talk about. Ooh. There we go. All right, who's open? That's the question. All right, and who's going to get open for Foytho? That's a nice ball.
Pass.
Nice.
You know, you can see him playing with a little more
confidence.
Yeah, a little more confidence, a little more patience.
Well,
moving with the ball a little bit. They realize, you know, the field's big for both teams, not just one.
Oh, that's a nice look.
Look
at this.
He was
and the back is not even really moving. Oh, shot.
Oh, it's out.
Oh, it's out. That was a nice little play, and I'm not really sure why the central back took his time to.
Yeah, because I don't think he was off. He didn't look off from here.
No.
And we can see this side a little bit better. The other side is a little more challenging.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. You're looking through a wall or two windows.
You miss about 20 yards.
Yeah.
But on this side, you can see pretty well, and it looked like he was on. He was certainly looking for the player.
So Central, apparently, their tradition is to stop the clock at 5 minutes.
Oh,
nicely done by Pelletier.
So that's not a soccer thing. That's you can do whatever you want.
I guess it's
or it broke.
Or it's broken. I don't know. It looks pretty good to me. I just hope we can get out of the half soon. You know, maybe take some instruction from Coach Lovering. Oh, we got to get rid of that.
I think the last game we played better, especially defensively in the second half.
Yes.
Towards it.
Oh, he was way off.
He
was. No, but you know, there was that moment, like we scored that first goal. It was early. It was like maybe in like minute 6 or something like that. And then we were doing okay. And then it almost looked like we were losing control of the game.
The last quarter
of that
half the first half was not pretty.
Yeah, no, it was, and we were not anticipating the runs, and we were behind, and they were exploiting our seams and all that kind of thing. Oh, that's the half. But Nick Martin scored that goal with about 8 minutes left, and we kind of righted the ship at that point.
Right.
So after a really rocky beginning, right? I mean, you gave up 2 goals in the first 4.5 minutes or something like that. Goffstown kind of recovers a bit. Certainly Central has way more possession than we do, but we don't look quite so shaky as we did. And Central, in some ways, doesn't look quite as aggressive as it did.
I think we still have a chance to beat the point spread. You know.
Yeah, what is the point spread?
I would have thought it was around 6.
So, you know
and
what?
And the over-under was 10.
So I wrote down here, I actually wrote this. I'm showing
under.
this to you. I'm showing this to you to show you. I said, if we lose by 2 or less, I'd be very proud of these guys.
Wow.
Right?
He did. He wrote that down.
Yeah. So
I'm always proud of him, Hugh, no matter what. As long as they try hard.
No, if I'm not proud of them, then I withhold my love. So anyway, why don't we take a break? Because it's getting stuffy in this little – can we describe this room? This room is like what?
It's probably 6 by 4, yeah.
Yeah, and there's 4 of us in here, and I think we've used up most of the oxygen. So why don't we – yeah, exactly. Why don't we take a break and go outside, and we'll be back with some second half action as the Grizzlies take on Little Green. All right, so welcome back to the second half as the Grizzlies take on Little Green in Gill Stadium, boys varsity soccer. Goffstown down 2-0.
I think we're going to do better this time. I think the whole field is slanted that way. So
I
that's
hope
where
you're
all
right.
the goals. That's where all the goals go.
But I kind of feel too, though, we've been doing a lot of chasing during this game, and I understand things are better than they were at the beginning of the first half. But you also got to worry that a team that's a little bit tired might be making a few more mistakes in the second half.
And honestly, we're not seeing as many subs because of the players that are out.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of the players are injured, so they can't come in and sub, right? So you're thinking about maybe Santoro or Green.
Because Miles is out, and then they had Cole that played quite a bit last game.
Right, and now he's in goal. So that removes a couple of subs right there. All right, nicely done, Brotherton. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anybody else who's on the bench right now because they're hurt. I think that's about it. Foytho's out.
Foytho's out. Isaac's in. I don't know.
Well, that might be.
Foytho
needs a break probably. He played that whole first half.
He did.
I think under a lot of pressure, and I thought he had a great half. Whoops. Well,
right over the top of him. I think there's a football game here Friday.
Yes.
Saturday. Yeah.
I saw some football players here, and they were checking out some nicely done by Pelletier. He really adds.
I'll tell you, he had a great save of a play where he came back and worked back to get somebody out of trouble. I don't remember
He did that.
who
It
it
might
was.
have been Tiago Fonticelli,
Yeah.
but he did that a couple of times where, like, we had missed a trap or we'd missed a pass or something like that, and he came streaking back to kind of back up the play, and he did a great job. I think he did that a couple of times, and that was a lifesaver. No.
Borges on the outside now. He's trying to keep people in front of him.
Nicely done by Lambert, standing him up, but I can't let him turn like that. Nicely done.
Just solid.
Fantasy. And look, nice pass.
And then right back out.
Right. Oh, poor
He
guy.
kept it in. Nope.
Yeah, but
now he's on the wrong side of his guy.
Yeah. And that's what Fantaselli really brings to the defense is not just that he's stopping people or he's a big guy or anything like that. It's what he does with the ball afterwards. I mean, he passes the ball really well. He sees the field really well, and he's just always really calm. I mean, he looks like a very sedate kind of state of mind that he's got. And there we go. That's Pelletier again. And they're going to, you're going to see they're going to put it in the middle, and there's going to be a shot. And, oof.
Not on goal. Cole actually was right on top of it. You saw
Yeah. You always wondered, it's like, you always think when the keeper freezes like that, does he realize how wide the goal is, right? Does he know the ball's going out, or is he just kind of.
He looked pretty calm there.
Yeah,
sometimes you see him panic, and I think they forget. But
that's one of the things. It's one of the things you learn as a keeper, right? You learn how wide your goal is. You know what's in. You know what's out. We got to start winning some of these headers here. Nicely done.
And to someone too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, there are a lot of arms flying around. Yeah, well. Yeah.
Oh, they called it the other way. Yeah.
Central's coach.
Not happy.
Not happy with that. Oh, wait.
Oh, he changed his mind.
No. Oh, he changed his. Oh, all right.
I thought it was that way. I think they could have called something before that with the hands.
Right.
And so I wasn't sure what he was actually calling.
Here's the cross.
Nice,
wow.
That's a little too much, maybe.
Yeah. Kind of hard to handle, too.
God, were they on? Must have been.
Woof. Brotherton gets there just in a nick of time. Ooh, he better watch the edge of the box there.
Yeah, he was pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
You definitely don't want that down there.
Oh, God. No, you
We don't need that. And when you think about it, one of our goals we gave up was on a penalty kick. And
so now the game is, it feels like the game is turning into more of a brawl instead of a soccer. I mean, not a real fight, but just kind of an unskilled sort of.
Yeah, I don't think either team's quite as crisp.
No.
Well, actually, Central's just not as crisp. I think we're kind of what we were.
We are who we are. Oh, yeah, Bartolucci.
Yeah, I like who we are. It's fun to watch. Like you said, that last game was a blast.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. But, I mean, There
we go.
Oh, so DeBrule's got a little bit of time. There he goes.
And also, even there, he doesn't need to give the ball up so fast because they weren't getting back.
Yeah, Gordon's got to get to the ball a little quicker there.
Their defenders, though, are smart. You see how he played the
but
ball,
he
was in good position.
Look at this. They got plenty of opportunities here to pass, plenty of options. Like they're going to switch it. But look how much space they've got. Because they're using the space really well.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, let's come in with the spikes flying, right? That seems like a good idea.
You want to see Lovren go right over the top.
The Ty Cobb version of soccer.
Yeah.
See, that ball's like, I mean, obviously Central's still, dangerous, but the ball's just kind of bouncing around all over the place, and then they'll get that spell of possession. But you see, he doesn't. Central didn't see a ton of opportunities there, right?
Oh,
they tried to force
the Central player was off anyhow.
Yeah.
Just getting back on now.
All right.
But let's see if we can possess a little.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're going to get worn out if you can't possess the ball at all.
Oh, that's got to be, well, I was going to say that's got to be a little better, but I guess it's okay. Martin, that's confident, right?
Oh, he's confident.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a great pass.
That was a great Oh,
little behind, have one. There you go.
Oh, that is our first really good chance.
I think that's the best chance
kudos
by
to
far.
Gorton.
Yep.
And by the way, he did that with his weak foot. He's a lefty, so he
Right.
took that with the right foot. So kudos to Gorton for that.
I think
for
Martin
that play.
really made that play, though. He worked through some contact and then had a great pass.
I think he's really kind of matured as a player. I mean, I really do. Oh, let's not give up on this. God, that would have been so sweet if that ball had gone in. How many
It would have
times we
changed the
said that?
complexion of the game.
Oh, for sure.
I think Goffstown settled a little better into the speed of play here. And
Yeah. But the speed of play does expose, I think, at times our lack of skill.
Oh, yeah, of course it does,
Because only skilled players can really
trapping,
deal.
passing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You don't have the time to kind of settle it, touch it 3 times and do all that kind of thing.
That's a nice job.
There we go.
That's how you move the ball.
That's why you want your skilled players in the middle.
Oh,
yeah, it's a
That's too
little
bad.
too far. Whoops. I don't think that's a foul. I think he tripped on
I think he tripped, yeah.
No, he tripped, but I think he tripped on the back of the player's heel.
Yeah. They
as he
didn't
was
call
moving
anything.
forward.
Everyone's still going.
No, I don't think it was a foul. I wouldn't have called it.
The turf is nice. I parked over in front of the JFK and walked on the turf. It's actually softer turf than you see sometimes.
You should have seen it before they put that turf in.
Was it
This
hard?
place. Oh,
Yeah.
it was like playing, like the Astrodome back in the 1970s or something.
I know Miles has played some baseball, quite a bit of baseball over here.
Offsides?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Wow, so that must be kind of weird to be playing on turf. Like the infield is turf, like the dirt is turf. You can't really dig in.
Yeah.
But the mound, right? The mound has got to be. What is the mound? Is it dirt?
Some places are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Some are dirt. Good places have dirt mounds.
Yeah, I would think a pitcher would prefer to be pitching on a dirt mound than a synthetic one.
So this field is big, so when they come here and play, there's a lot of room out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far is I don't know, how far is left field?
Well, right field's 312, which is pretty shallow, but you see the shape where it kind of goes out at a sharp angle to the road, and then gets really deep in center field.
Yeah, it really gets deep. You're right. Ugh. So Central circulating the ball well, and here's another dangerous one. Oh, nice
job.
Fantaselli again. Yeah, he's really made himself indispensable there. I mean, frankly.
Voitho's coming back in. I was wondering if he was hurt. He's been out for a while.
I was worried about that.
We don't need that.
We don't, I think as we were saying, this is a team that doesn't have a lot of stars. Oh, nice. That's out.
It was out, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This is a team that doesn't have a lot of stars or any stars really, just a lot of really good players. But a loss like to Fantaselli or Foytho on defense, I think would be really a big blow.
I think that's the issue. I think in some other places they could fill in a little bit. I think on defense they're a little light.
Yeah. Well, because he brings that combination of size and a good turn of speed and a lot of skill and just very calmness, Nice by Gordon.
Caleb.
That's a fantastic
really nice job.
Clear. If you're going to clear it, you got to clear it.
Yep.
Nice step. Oh,
good hustle.
Unlucky.
Yep. That's a pretty good ball right there.
Oh, there we go. Look at this. So it seems like some of the the guys are starting to get the kind of pace of the game.
I mean, they had to score both those goals in the first 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been much more than that.
No.
And since then, Central's had a couple good opportunities. We've had one. There you go, Tiago, right through the ball. Good job.
You know, one of the things I noticed is that Central is not doing anymore is they're not bringing the ball down on the wings and then crossing it. And what they're doing is they're starting to batter their heads up the middle a bit.
Yep.
And you know what? Like maybe they'll bring it up the wings in the midfield and then they get to the 40 or the 35 and then they kind of try to pass it in. And then we compress on defense, which is
Right.
good. You want to be compact on defense. But they're having trouble sort of finding routes through that white.
And I think Coach Leveren's kind of instructed his guys his middies to fall back a little bit deeper. And,
Yeah.
and I think that congests it a little more.
No, I think you're right. And so in this case, you know, on defense, definitely you want to be compact. It's not on offense that you want to be compact. Nice by Fantaselli reaching with that. Yeah, we don't really have anybody up there.
Nobody over there, yeah.
Poor Ewing Simone has like covered I don't know how much real estate
That's
today.
the problem with being the
lone
having
striker.
one lone striker. Right?
Well, especially
you cover a lot of ground.
Especially when your team is on its back heel for
Yep.
most of the game,
Yeah,
right?
so your attacking mids are really.
Yeah, they're really,
really holding
stacked.
mids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're stacked on top of the defense.
But Josh is still standing in the same spot.
No,
he gets to get some miles in.
Kudos for him. I mean, I hope that gets noticed because he's working really hard, and he's working hard, and he's not getting many opportunities to touch the ball. So.
Much more temperate in here with the window
Oh,
open.
jeez, I know.
Too much hot air, I think, is what people would say, Hugh. I think there might have been a couple comments on Facebook like
Really,
that.
too much hot air? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Comments that were made not by your wife? Oh boy.
Oh, that's
so
a
that's
great pass.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah. And that was, I mean,
That was
you know
a really
what?
good play.
It was a good play, but you know what? He dribbled past 4 guys
Yep.
on that play,
Yep.
right? And that was maybe a little too easy.
Yeah. In case he went for the.
Well, at that point, it's sheer desperation.
Right.
Yeah, and that was kind of mistimed, really, right? I mean, he completely missed the.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you don't want him to deck the player in the middle of the box, but
No,
he
you don't.
completely missed everything. He missed the ball. He missed the player. He missed. I still think we got to keep playing the way we are.
Oh, yeah.
Try to be the best version of ourselves under these circumstances, and forget that it's 3-0. Because we've actually played a decent spell over the last,
Oh, I think we have. I think if you take out the beginning of the game, and
Right.
even with a goal like that, I think they're playing better.
Yeah. I think that, they're managing as a team that's not as skilled. They're managing decently here. Oh, you'd see that coming. There we go. So, see, Gorton is a midi, and he's stacked all the way
That's
back
what I'm
there.
saying. There's
Yeah.
really nobody. There's 40 yards at least.
Oh, look at you and Simone just kind of snuffs
Just
that.
battling.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. It's really hard to generate any offense
When you're by
you're
yourself, yeah.
Yeah. And as a midfielder, it's hard to generate offense when you're just stacked on top of the defense. It's like the only guy you've got to pass to is that one guy up there. But we are still stepping, we're still fighting for the ball, and I think that's good.
And I don't think this team has a lot of quit in it, so I think they're going to keep working hard.
Yeah, I hope so. Look at that. There we go. He had Andy Mason open.
He did.
Yeah.
That's all right. Now he's got to throw.
Now we got to throw in. Well, let's look for the open man. Oh. Yeah, he had Joey McNeil wide open.
I missed that one. I had
He just
Beam in front of me.
he thought he could throw it about 10 yards farther than he could throw it. So Fantaselli.
I was going to say he's going to play his keeper, but I knew that guy was coming.
Oh,
He
nice
might have
play
won-
by Brotherton, though.
Yeah, I might have gone the other way.
Yeah,
There was no one on
go
Foytho's
wide
side.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now
But again-
Fantaselli's got his hands full.
The guy was coming right on him, and my guess is he's more comfortable with that foot, right? So that's
Ooh.
where it went.
Boy, we got to get it out of there. Oh, boy, and we got to do it better than that.
There you go.
There. All right.
You could hear Borges say, coming hard or no.
Yeah. Well, good. They're talking. Communication's always been a problem with this team in the past, right? Like
Yep.
last year, the communication was not good. It's good to hear that these guys are talking to each other. Oh,
Is that a corner?
yeah. I like reading goalkeepers' body language. You know, Cole's
Well,
body
it's like they're
language
giving
seemed to
us a goal
say
kick.
yeah. Cole's body language seemed to say that's not even close. And I was like, okay, I hope he's right.
Just warming up.
Yeah, you know,
Could have been a big win. Dorian coming up the coast.
could be. Yeah, it's good for the highlight reel, right?
Oh no, another ball comes
Wait, what is
flying in.
that all about? Come on. Don't throw the ball on the field.
I think it was a mistake.
No, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, he was thinking they needed that one out there. He had already thrown one out. Not like the crack staff we had as ball boys at the Goffstown
Oh,
game.
boy.
They were like 4 years old, and they did a really nice job.
Or what about Milford? Remember the ball boy at Milford?
They didn't
Give
have
me
one,
the-
did they? Because
Yeah.
you made fun of him.
No, he was he gave me the stink eye. Yeah.
that-
Oh my God.
That was the best thing about moving up to Division One. I thought
Oh,
they were going to have
we're
your
never
picture on
gonna
the side
go
of the building.
at the post office. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't have to go back to Milford. That was the worst game. That was one of the worst games we ever filmed.
I wasn't there, so
Oh, geez. It was terrible. It was Mike and I were there, and we were just cracking jokes the whole time. And then, you know what? Like, we beat
that looked like a handball, didn't it?
we beat Milford like 5-0, and we were the worst version of ourselves doing it.
Well, I think sometimes when you play a weaker
Oh,
team,
sure.
when you're not a great team, that's not good.
No, it
because
was-
you kind of play as sloppy as they do.
But that was the year we made it to the playoffs. You know,
Yep.
when our team like got up for the big games and couldn't care less about the
The
mediocre
regular
games, and
yeah. I
and
think
we played terribly, and we still won 5-0. It was ugh.
that was a different season for sure.
Oh, geez, it was. Yeah.
It was
Nah.
nice to have the run at the end, but
Yeah.
I think Coach Levin's got a little less hair, probably a few more gray ones after that year.
You know, we went 7-8-1 in that season, and then we made that playoff run.
Yeah,
It was
great run.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And
we
you
weren't
lost
even
to
at 500.
right, and you lost to a very good Wyndham team.
Right. All right. So he's got some. Oh, holds on to
Nice
it a little
play.
bit too
Yeah.
long. Oh, look at this. Now we're
Right
falling
through.
all over ourselves.
What
Oh,
a
my
shot.
God. Nicely
Wow,
done
nice
by
job.
Brotherton. He better get back in a hurry here, though.
I think he might be dazed.
Yeah, really. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's trouble.
But you know what? It all started with our failure to bring the ball out of the box successfully. That was a mistake. Hold on. You can't hold on to the ball, 5 yards in front of the box and get it stolen like that, because this team will kill you every time you do something like that. So I think fatigue might be getting to us a little bit.
Well, I
and
think
we're-
it's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
They worked hard. They tried to get up to speed. A couple of our players ran into each other, and all of
But,
a sudden it cascades.
Yep. But then you kind of start you're tired. So I don't want to say you start getting lazy, but you start trying to kind of cut corners, and you're not capable of playing the game that you should be playing at this point, which is, a much faster speed of play.
There you go, Nick.
There you go.
That's
That's
not
not a
bad at
bad
all.
play at all.
Yeah, get there.
Yeah, okay. Nice shielding by the defender.
Yep. Oh.
What was that? Did Borges run into somebody?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nicely done by Foyt, though, here. Oops. Nice dummy.
They probably have such a good plan, Hugh, because they watched our video of the
That
game.
must be it.
All these teams get an advantage because
Yeah, they
you
get to
tape
see.
every game.
That's true. We are a known quantity. I think a lot of the teams last year were watching the film to look at the other teams that we were playing.
I think it was
Like
I think it's
Central,
game planning
right?
for us.
Like Central,
Right.
I think this game is going to get way more hits than the last game, right? The
Right.
last game got a bunch of people, people's grandparents in Florida and all that kind of thing watching the game, first game of the season. But this game, I bet there are going to be a ton of people watching it because they want to see how Central plays, and they didn't see anything from Londonderry, so
Right. Oh, short ball again.
Yeah,
Nick's on it.
Central
Good.
is the attraction. You knew that was coming. Oh, nice. But I think they're going to call a foul. Yep. And they're going to call it right outside of the box.
Well, 19 minutes left.
If we can hold them here,
It looks
I'd
like
be
coach
happy.
is emptying his bench.
Yep.
Set for Central.
Oh. And you know what? If you're taller, you gotta be on top of that.
Yeah, there's not. I don't know if there was much he could do about
No.
that.
Oh boy, there's mass substitutions. See, this is where the yellow. You know what? We were joking about passing off the jersey and everything, but you know what? If you pass
Everybody
off the
comes
jersey,
off with a jersey, right?
yeah, and you don't leave 12 guys on the field,
That's
right?
That looks like Borges is coming off.
Yeah.
Martin.
Borges, Martin, Mason, Gorton. Wow, a lot of subs. Oh, and they got a new keeper too. And look, the keeper coming off, he's pulling a David Gibson. Sam Heidenreich, right? Got to be on the soccer field, take my jersey off, right?
Oh, Sam Heinrich played tennis with Jake, right? And half the time he would have his shirt off, luckily not during the tennis match, but it wasn't much off from the tennis match.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Sam played tennis, didn't he?
Oh, Sam was a good tennis player. It
Oh,
actually
he was
worked out.
great.
It worked out great for my son because Sam always got the number one guy, and Jake had never really played. But then he worked his way up, and he was the number two player. And you're way better being the number two
sure.
player. You have a chance to win. The number one player, there's always a player on the
Some
other team that's
ringer.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But I just always remember, practice, I'd see, Sam Heidenreich coming off the field,
Yeah.
no shirt. David Gibson taking his shirt off immediately. And, we don't have that this year. We don't have a guy.
Oh, Isaac doesn't have a shirt on a lot of times.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
We saw him out there. They were doing the, what did they call that, Lily? The powder puff game or the, what is that? Yeah, the powder puff game. So he was coaching up some of the girls' team, and I'm like, you look over there, he's got no shirt on. And I know there wasn't really
jeez.
much of a reason for that.
Or much of a good reason.
Well, no, he's proud of the pipes now,
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
he lifts
guns?
weights, yeah.
Does he invite? Yeah, he invites people to go to the gun show.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Lambert-
he'll love this tape.
Oh, I'm sure he will. 2 tickets to the gun show. That's from Anchorman.
I think this is actually the first time I've seen a game at Gill Stadium, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, baseball or soccer.
I did a football game here maybe it was last winter or the winter before. I can't remember now. When Goffstown was playing,
Yep.
I think they're playing Central.
They're probably Central or Memorial, right?
Pardon?
Central or Memorial. One of the other. I think they
one or the
both
other.
play
I
over
think it
here,
was
don't
Central. Yeah, it is Central. It was a green uniforms.
they? No, Memorial's got their own field too, right? Because we played there last year for soccer.
Yeah, that's right,
Yep.
actually. Yeah, and Central does not have a field. This is it.
Yeah.
Although I think their JV team plays somewhere else. Or not their JV. Yeah, their JV team plays somewhere else.
I know for some baseball, Manchester-based baseball teams get access to this field,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. no matter where they are in Manchester.
So look, it's sort of Central kind of putting making the ball do a lot of work here. And you can tell these are their subs, but these are skilled players and they know what they're doing.
You look at their subs and still look at their spacing. Their
Yeah, I
spacing
know.
is still very good. The difference is honestly the size. That's what you
No, you're absolutely right. You can tell these kids are younger, but look at them.
little tighter, closer together. Where the other, the starters kind of build
they
that
got
a
to
little
talk
differently.
there.
Hey.
Fantaselli's got to. Lambert's got to talk with Fantaselli, and
There you go.
When
Get
we
it
were
all the
bringing
way.
up-
Not
Ow.
quite there.
when we're bringing the ball out of the box, right? Fantaselli and I think it was Klaus kind
There goes Klaus.
of hesitated. That's going to be green.
Well, about 15 minutes left.
Yeah, we just
See
got
if
to
we
get
can
out.
tally a goal. Be nice to tally a goal,
I think it would
wouldn't
be fantastic. Sort of like that Bedford game.
Yep.
4-1. Oop.
Come get a goal.
Yep.
Be interesting to see if we did after-game interviews, what Cole thought of being the goalie rather than. It looked like he was having a lot of fun out there as a defender. I'm not sure which one he'll
he doesn't
like
want to
better.
be keeper again. Yeah.
I'm not sure this is the game you want to come back
Well,
to be
this is
keeper either.
really. I mean, it's like, hey, Cole. The good news
Yeah,
is you get to
come
play
on in.
keeper, and the bad news is you got to play it against Central, right? Which is sort of like the way the keeper at Alvern last season must have felt like at every game.
Yeah.
Oh, people are leaving their feet and turning around. They got to keep their feet and keep their eye on the ball here.
Hey, good job by freshman Nick though, working
Yep.
back and kind of getting that ball out of there.
And look at this.
Looks like Tiago's getting a little break.
Yeah.
Joe's? Oh, okay. I thought he was holding his head a little bit, but might just be messing with his hair.
Who?
Joe Lambert when he came
Oh.
off. I didn't know.
Nice ball. That was a nice look by Ewing Simone.
Yep, good idea.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Why not?
Be nice to get a corner, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten one yet, have we?
Nope.
Well, you know what? I wonder if there's going to be a JV football game here tonight.
That's possible.
I mean, I see some of these guys that look like they're in uniform.
Yep.
I guess there must be a limited number of facilities where you can have a football game.
Well, I think for Friday night lights, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a varsity game, honestly.
I always thought they were usually Fridays or weekends, right?
Yeah, Fridays or Saturdays are
Yeah.
when the freshmen play different times. But
Right.
So normally, Friday nights, and if you've got lights on a stadium, they like to do them Friday nights.
Correct. Oh, Borges saves the ball. Ewing Simone's got it.
Actually, Borges had a really nice game passing the ball.
Ooh, yeah, he did. And here we go. Okay, so now we got something going on here.
That's a nice pass, too.
That was a good ball.
Had to kind of thread it.
Yep.
Don't force it. Move back a little bit, Klaus.
Nice little spell of possession. A little too close to the keeper, though.
But even there, you look at the central striker came up and took Foytho out of the play so they couldn't play back to him.
Correct.
Just smart.
No, but that's good. That's smart play.
Moving on the side of the ball so that they can support. And it's little things like that some other teams don't do, and that's why Central is who they are.
Well, and I think that's the evidence of having a well-coached team.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Oh!
Looks like Ronnie Morgan.
Ronnie Morgan puts in the goal. 4-1.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that
think
was
that's-
expertly done. That was a nice cross and
was
a
a
great
great-
header.
Yep.
Wow. Impressive. That was nice.
And obviously, against some subs, but you still got to make the plays.
I don't know if
I think
maybe the defense.
they subbed. Yeah, I think they subbed all the way around, but still a good soccer play. And I tell you what's better is the fact that they kept playing hard.
Yeah.
You're down 4-0. You're playing one of the best teams in the state. There's probably some kids that would have packed it in a little bit, and they didn't. They kept working hard.
Well, I kind of get the sense that that might have been a problem last year. But these guys have shown a lot of fight.
I think they have.
The game on Tuesday, they certainly did, right? They
Right.
went ahead and then they fell behind, and it looked like the game was coming out of control, and then they came right back in.
Oh. Then we start to get a few bounces. You never know. Wouldn't you love to score another one and just make him put his starters back in?
Well, look, things are starting to happen here. That might be an optimistic shot.
Keep following, though.
Yep.
You got a backup keeper in now, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Borges putting it back in the mix.
Maybe Borges will be like one of those baseball players, Jared, that plays every position on the field.
Yep.
So he's already got, he's got defense. He played some midi.
Oh,
nice
that
play
was a
by
nice
Cole.
play. But it was also a nice play by Central. That was a really dangerous
Oh,
ball.
that was very dangerous.
All right, but now there's space. We got a lot of space. So what do we see? That's the question.
There you go. Take some time.
Yep.
Make him play you.
Oh, that was not a bad idea. The ball just needed to be a bit higher.
Just a little bit higher because he just
Yeah.
barely got that.
Uh-huh.
think it'd be good for us to try to work something in, though, not just blast them in, you know?
I completely agree. Oh, yeah, that was out.
Was it out?
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't quite see.
Down here, I could swing it. Oh, they're saying it's a white throw? That's puzzling.
That is puzzling. Hey, sometimes the soccer god's got to be on your side, Hugh.
No, that's true. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than skilled.
That's how I go through life.
Really?
Yep.
That must require oh, dear. You know what? McNeil had a ton of time. I don't think there was any need to kind of one-time it.
I think that's the issue when you play a more skilled team. Right. You rush things.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You want to improve your speed of play, but you also
We
right?
might be getting a card here. We are. Yep.
Is that Martin?
Martin. They got tangled up. I didn't see exactly what happened, but one player was on the ground and one wasn't. And
Levering is complaining to the other ref. Don't they have to take him off? Oh, dear.
you don't want to get a red. So, I mean, this would be a good time to.
Oh, he did give him a yellow, right?
I saw a yellow come out. I'm pretty sure it was
okay.
a yellow.
But then I thought by rule you had to come off the field for a couple of minutes.
I thought you did too, but maybe we got that wrong. I mean, red, you come out altogether. And
Right.
I thought with the yellow, they still took you off, but maybe they don't.
Yeah, I thought
you
that
think
was like
we'd know.
I thought that was
that one year. I mean, how many
sure.
yellows did Ethan Skinner have?
But I mean, that was the thing, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
look,
thought
they're
they
taking
always
them
took
off.
'em off.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was like a cooling
Right.
off period, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, you just did a yellow thing. You got to
Right.
calm down. Now
You go to the
sit on
penalty
bench.
box and you feel shame.
Yeah, because that obviously works in hockey, right?
Right.
Guys go to the penalty box and they're full of shame, and they're much rehabilitated when they get back onto the ice. All right, so DeBrule goes in for Martin for like the last 9 minutes of the game.
I was trying to get my older kid to watch Slap Shot with me the other day, and he wouldn't.
Why not?
I don't know. You know, he said all
That's
old movies are terrible,
Oh, I hate
and they're
it.
not as funny as we think they are, which is probably true.
No, they're wrong. They're just wrong. Slapshot's a funny movie. That's like Paul Newman, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where they said
And
if
those like
you go in the
what is it?
penalty
Those
box
triplets?
and you feel shame. Yeah.
Remember what are the name of the triplets?
what
The
were they?
triplets names?
So this is where you need Santoro up here.
Oh,
Mike
my
would have
God.
known that right
It's
off
like
the top.
all of the. Nice ball there by DeBrule. And that's not a
That's
bad ball.
another good ball. Take him deep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got his hands up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's an easy call. That's too easy. Gorton definitely had a step.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Be interesting here. I mean, do you think they practice this much at
They practice what, the free kicks?
from right there?
Oh, that's an odd one.
Yeah, it is,
It's
isn't
an
it?
odd space.
All right, they're going to go
So
Ronnie
they're
and
going to go with
put,
Morgan.
put the
yep.
big body in there. I think that makes sense. He at least gets people's attention, right?
Well, you could just head it in by standing there.
Yeah,
I see DeBrule kind of creeping up toward the top of the box. I wonder if he's like thinking about
Oh, it's
punching it
Ronnie or
back in.
Kemps?
Oh,
it's a
that's
little
way
deep.
too
Yeah,
much.
A little
Yeah.
bold. That's too bad.
Well, that was a good opportunity.
That was a good opportunity when you're right there.
Boy, you just have to, you have to chip it in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is striking the ball off the turf much different than off of grass?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for a free kick, because you
Yep.
can't really kind of,
You don't quite get
place the
under it
ball
quite as
on
much.
the tuft,
Right,
so
right.
that kind of thing. I remember when Jackson was younger and he used to play on turf, he would kind of dig at the turf with his toe and then take the corner
Yeah.
as if like he was kind of digging in. Brotherton's got to come out.
Got to play that.
There
one.
you go. Then he kind of realized that he wasn't really doing anything.
Right.
Oh, look at this. Jasper Klaus.
Get rid of it.
Yep. But he's got nobody. There's
He's got
nobody
Isaac
there.
right in front of him.
All right, he's got.
actually.
There we go. There we go. DeBrule's right there. And
Yeah, he's off.
yep, he was.
Yeah, by a lot.
Well, it's no use central players pointing as if like where the people are standing now is relevant, and
Right.
and that's not the case.
It was so 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. So 5 minutes. So 2018.
Well, we're coming down to 5 minutes, so then it'll be
Yeah.
mystery after that.
Mystery time.
I don't think I've seen anyone do it other than 2 minutes. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. It got to the point where I almost thought it was a rule. I have to say I haven't really consulted the NHIAA rule book.
I think
lately.
Jared will check that one on us, and then he'll need to
Tonight?
check the yellow card and automatic substitution rule too.
Yeah, the lawyer among us must do
Yeah.
that kind of work.
Hey, he's got a certain set of skills.
I mean, I can't a certain set of skills. Is this like Taken?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh,
Just
my
a
gosh.
totally different set of skills,
A totally different set of skills, right?
but still a set of skills.
He's not driving a pike into some guy's thigh and then
No.
electrocuting him.
No.
Not those kind of skills.
No, he could bore him to death.
He just electrocutes you with the law. Oh. He's going to explain all the implications of Marbury versus Madison. Oh. All right, so we are under 5. But we must remind everybody that the official time is kept by the ref.
My guess is.
Clock is running on our.
Oh, Fantaselli got caught on the wrong side there.
I think he might be a little tired.
Oh, I'm sure he's a little tired. Whoops, I think
There
that
must be a
shot-
pretty good crowd here now because there was a lot of groans when that
Yeah.
thing went out. There wasn't a big crowd when we first started.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think there's going to be a football game here tonight, maybe.
well, I think the groans. I think when the game started there were about 10 people. Now they're about
Yeah.
15.
Friday night football draws some pretty good crowds.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Well, if they're playing short, we've seen that 3 times.
Oh, Foytho, there he is.
And we got to be smarter about it after you've seen it a couple times.
Yeah. I know, that's the thing. Like with a goalie punt, and it's like after the defense gets the punt like over their head for the 4th time, you think, maybe you should kind of plan on having that punt go far.
Right.
Ooh.
But they're all learning.
Yep.
Oop,
Oh,
another corner.
jeez. Gorton is complaining. I think Gorton felt that he was fouled.
No, I think he thought it went off the other player.
Oh.
Tell you, Central gets ready to play, though. They get a free kick. Yeah, the Central
Man.
player wants the call. He's got his hands straight out.
I have to say, at this great distance, and maybe it will be a bit different if you're down on the field, but I don't think the reffing has been terrible.
No, I don't think so. No. Obviously, Randy had an issue with the running into
Well,
his player, but that's
I think that wasn't a call about what had happened.
not
It was a
at all.
call about
Right.
like how much of a penalty should you assess.
exactly. Yeah.
Should it be a yellow or should it
But
not be?
I think other than that, they've been pretty good. I thought they've
Yeah.
been really good on the offsides.
Mhm.
I think they've been right on top of it.
Yep.
I think we might have got a few lucky calls in the last game, that may not have been, after watching the tape, that may not have been offsides. But when
Mhm.
you're offsides 50 times, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt
exactly. You're not going to get the benefit of doubt at all.
either. Right, it's like those pitchers that, walk everybody and then they complain about the
strike
strike
zone.
that's on the,
Right.
that's on the paint.
Oh,
It's a shot on goal.
yeah, I guess, right? Although if the keeper hadn't touched it, it wouldn't have gone in.
Well, you don't think? From
No,
here,
it was
I
going.
thought it
It was
would.
a cross.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
couldn't really
yeah,
tell.
if he had let it go, it would have gone to the other side of the field.
Play a
I think.
keeper.
Yeah. I think everybody's kind of happy with this result, right? Okay, let's not dribble the ball too much back there.
No, I think they're trying.
Oh, jeez.
Good
come
job,
on.
though.
There we
Strong with
go.
the ball.
Yep, he is. That's nothing. Strong player. Although we just gave the
Nobody
ball
in
away there.
particular there.
No. Yeah, we gotta. But I think that's a function of fatigue, and it's also a function of the speed
Stress,
of play.
yeah,
You want to
yeah.
gotta get rid of the ball, and then you kick it, and then you wonder where you kicked it afterwards.
Honestly, it's also a function of, Isaac's the striker up there. He's got to move to the side of the ball. He was more in the center of the field there, which is funny because that's what we talked to him about after the last game was
Oh.
you got to work to the center a little more, but when the ball's all the way in the corner.
All right, Gordon's got to be pushing up here, I'm hoping. Oh, dear. There's a sub coming in. It looks like it's going to be Lambert, and Bartolucci's coming in. I guess that means that Gordon's pushing up, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe Gordon was playing defense at that point? I don't know. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's why he didn't push up. My mistake. Yeah, now Gordon seems to be in a more offensive position.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, Central not. I mean, Central showing a lot of skill, but not maybe a lot of imagination right now.
I mean, up 4-1, possess the ball,
Yeah.
and get going.
Nice step.
Good
Oh
step.
boy, when you step though, you got to make sure you get it.
I looked like a little push on the
I
Central.
wonder if the ball was
Yeah.
spinning a little
Could've
bit
been,
and maybe
yeah.
he misjudged it.
We saw a little bit at the end of that in the last game too. I think he just, they're a little tired.
Well, they asked a lot of him.
Oh, that was a handball.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
no, that was.
I mean, Fantaselli and Foytho have played a lot today.
Oh, they have. It's first week.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we don't give something up tragic at this point.
Yeah, 5-1 sounds a lot different than 4-1.
Yeah. Doesn't it, though? I wonder why.
Really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I saw Coach Lovren after the game, the last one, and they talked about how you play. Do you pack it in and whatever? And I said, what's the difference between losing 7-0 and 1-0?
Honor.
Yeah,
That's it. Game over.
game over.
So Goffstown goes down 4-1. I said that if they had kept it within 2, I would have been proud of them.
Actually,
I think they did pretty well.
They played well. I mean, honestly, you knew they were playing against a much higher skill level team,
Right.
and they played with them for the most part. I mean, they had the beginning of the game, which is a debacle, and after that,
Right.
I think they settled in, and they scored a nice goal. I think there was a lot of positives, and I'm sure there's lots of
There's
things
a
we'll
lot
go
of
back and look.
positives.
But from an advantage of playing on the turf
Mhm.
and playing a pretty skilled team, it makes the next opponent you play seem a little more ordinary, right?
No, I think there's a lot to be gained by this game, right? So you learn a lot, and in some ways, it's like as you said, you play a really tough team, then the other teams will seem a little bit easier.
Right.
But certainly, I think there's some things that we've got to learn. And a game like this does expose your weaknesses. A game like Central will, compel you to recognize, okay, there's certain things that we're not
Right.
always very good at, right? And certainly, I think we could have, in some cases, seen the field a little bit better, passed the ball a little bit better, trapped it a little bit better. But with the speed of play and the kind of situation that you're in, that's a tough thing to ask of these kids. So anyway, you know what? We knew what the outcome of this game was going to be, pretty much, right? But we still have that Portsmouth victory, so we come out of the week 1-1. We've played, a contender for the state championship. We got
And a
that
playoff
out of the
team.
way,
Yeah,
right?
and a playoff team.
I don't remember who we play next, but
Memorial.
yeah, that'll be an easier game, and we get to play Memorial at home.
At home. Yep.
So, certainly after playing Central, Memorial will seem ordinary, and maybe even a little less than ordinary. So we take our lumps, but we learn some things, and hopefully we'll do better next week. So I'm Hugh DeBrule. I'm with Joe Borges and Jared Green's behind the camera, and we'll see you next week.